Hi guys and girls, welcome back to my channel. I do hope you're doing well. We are back on the bed. We are surrounded by cushions as always, and we have some new Easter bunny. Well, I say Easter bunny, it's not. It's kind of like summery Easter spring bedding with a lovely lemon sheet. It's all been done this morning. We've got a new throw out and I was like, you know what? This is the best time to film a sit down with Shan. And my lovely, something that I've had quite a lot of you emailing me about and sending me DMs on Instagram is the big controversy at the moment. I think it was last month, towards the end of last month that it happened. And that is of course Tattle. That a couple, in essence, located the creator of Tattle, and I can't lie, I was very surprised. I'd heard many things about who owned it, a brother, a sister, everything like that, and actually the person that does own it, I was very surprised at. A middle-aged man, he was a vegan who had cookbooks, and he was the enabler of the site that is Tattle. Now, if you guys have not heard of Tattle, how can we describe Tattle? It's a platform for people to have voices without having any repercussions, if that makes sense. So Tattle is a closed community. To gain access to Tattle, you have to know someone who is within this industry, this website, to get codes. No one can just log on. But previously, before the prosecution, which an Irish couple took Tattle to court, sued, and I think they got in excess of €300,000 of compensation damages for slander and misinformation and everything like that. They now are, I think they're advocating to have Tattle taken down. So previously, anyone could go on Tattle. You guys know I have several Tattle threads on there from several, I'm going to say, people. They're not women, they're not, yeah, I will stick with people. And it's a platform, as I say, where if people can't voice back, then it's kind of like a playground, and everyone can just go on there and ladder. When I say everyone, everyone who has codes. Now, since the prosecution has started, I believe it's been closed down to outside viewers. So in essence, it's closed the doors for people to see what has been wrote about them, because the only people who can see what has been wrote are those type of people that are within that community. So yeah, the moves from the Irish couple for capturing who started it, and I'm not too sure what's happening at the moment. I believe it's still going through legal battles as to what happens with this platform. Does it get dissolved? Does it just collapse and then it'll come back as something else? What happens to the people on there? Because I'm sure the people on there have made lifelong friends, and unless you're going to start putting out your names and addresses and everything like that, unless, can you private message? Is that an option on Tattle? However, when Tattle started, I don't believe it was for the malicious things that it gets used for now. One of my lovelies, she's a member, and she said she used to go on and it would be for like helps and tips and recommendations, and then over the years it's just kind of slowly turned toxic and vile and basically just a bashing site. And I feel any type of site like such Tattle. Oh, am I going to sneeze? Bless me, I'm allergic to Tattle, so even talking about it. I think these types of sites, it seems to be stuff that people wouldn't say to people's faces. As much as these people will say, yeah, I'll say it to your face, I would like them to say and see if they would say certain things. I follow a lady on TikTok, Stephanie Vavron, and she had horrendous threads on there. She's done many a TikTok on it as well. She found out who one of her tattlers was, and the things that they say about her, and they go after her son who has learning difficulties. And you know when you just think, you're grown women going after a child with disabilities, you're probably a mother yourself. Like, where is your standards? Where is your self-respect? Because I can guarantee they would not like that if people were saying it about their child. So what on earth gives them a right to talk about someone else's child? And I just think it's a very poisonous environment. But As I say, this Irish couple, they've took them to court. It's still going through the proceedings, I think. What is the future of Tattle, guys? I asked, as always, over on my Instagram and email. I have your tips, tricks, and what your thoughts on these sites are. So, stop rabbiting and let's get in with it. Also, does anyone think that my nightshirt is quite ironic for this? Oh, beep beep. Don't say that's my parcel coming. Because I've been waiting for a parcel all morning, guys. My phone is there. I'm just going to keep an eye, because if it ring-a-ling-lings, I know that's my parcel. And it says, did anyone say tea? And I thought, you know what? Because on these sites, everyone likes to think they're spilling the tea. So, let's see what the actual tea is. Let's have a look. We've on here quite a few, and some are quite lengthy. One of my lovelies just says, vile. So I asked you guys via Instagram and emails, let's talk hate sites, like, I believe, Reddit. Reddit, is that? See, Reddit used to be like a funny site back in the day, where people would just roast and put memes. Has that now turned quite toxic? On here, talking the hate sites, and one of my lovelies just says, vile. I couldn't agree with you more. I just think, what possesses a grown person, man or woman, to sit there and spend time to bash people? Like, have you not got anything going on in your life worth spending your time doing? Do you not have a hobby? Is your hobby just being vile? I mean, I don't know. I would like to understand it. As I say, I spoke many times when I found out I had Threads, and I was like, I would love for one of the individuals, whoever they may be, just email me. Email me whatever your problem is and why you feel you need to have to go to those sites. I'm very open. My email is down below. My Instagram, you can DM me. Just have like an adult conversation. I don't see the need in it why to hide back behind this platform, because if you're, as the words, dishing it out, you should be able to take it back. So I have a lot of thoughts on people on those sites, but I like to think I hold my tongue quite well in it. I wouldn't give them the time of day. And people may say, well, I have a feeling Tattlers would say, but you're doing a video on it. Darling, this video is not about you, it is about the site in general. So, yes, I just think, like, if you have nothing nice to say, I was always brought up, if you have nothing nice to say, you don't say anything at all. And trust me, I don't even have spare time for half the things I need to do in my life, let alone sit there at all hours of the morning and night just spouting nonsense. Like, honestly, do you not have anything else to, like, fill your time with, apart from, in essence, reminiscing your school days? Because that's all that these sites remind me of. It's just playground antics that should have been left in the playground probably 20, 30 years ago. So, who knows? And probably, what do I think will happen with Tattle? I don't think it would ever get shut down. I feel that, like, the first restriction, in essence, as I say, for outside people not being able to see in, I think that would be one. And then maybe there may be like internal monitoring or internal filtering where certain words are not allowed to be used or certain things. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I just think good on that couple, because trust me, I had a quote to look into my Tattlers. I would rather spend that money on a nice holiday and do the content for you guys, which apparently aggravates them. That was one of my things. They didn't like me travelling. They didn't like me living life. They wanted me to be back in my bedroom at my mum's, and they didn't like the fact of my house. And another thing that everyone said to me from the Tattle site was that I'm very unhappy in my house. I'm so unhappy and I don't want to be here. So they gave me some friendly words of advice, and I think one of them was along the lines of sell it or rent it out and move back to that one room in mum's. For me, that sounds like people don't like change. I'm sorry, but I'm 30 years old. I could not be spending my life living with my mother, unfortunately. I bought a house. I've become more of an adult. I'm living in my own place, which means I have more than one room to film. I'm not in my cramped up little bedroom anymore. And it seems that some people wanted me in my cramped up little bedroom. So I don't know. Sometimes I just think in these instances you can never please people. And I do think if the boot was reversed, or if the shoe was on the other foot, as the saying goes, and themselves or their loved ones or their children was in the firing line, I don't think they would be as frivolent with their words to be like, yep, well, that's absolutely fine, it's freedom of speech. I just think, if you're a parent and you're saying that about someone else's child, if karma comes around, and karma always comes around, it's only a matter of when, are you going to have the same nonchalant attitude as just like, it's freedom of speech? But you guys were very, very vocal on this. So, hello to you, Shan, Mama G and Dan. I don't even know where to begin on this subject. I can't give any advice, nor have I been affected, but it absolutely makes my blood boil. Growing up in the 80s, there was never any hate like there is today. I only heard about Tattle last week due to a case which has been in the news, and then watching another YouTuber who, like you, is such a lovely person, has been a victim on that disgusting site. Why are people so damn nasty? We only have one life on this planet. Why do people feel the need to be nasty about people, especially YouTubers? Life can be so much nicer without the constant hate and bitterness. Rant over, Gorge. Keep being you and creating and documenting your wonderful memories. Thank you very much, my lovelies. That's what I mean. We have one life. Do you want to spend your life spouting negativity? Because I think that may be like, it could be a reflection of what perhaps people feel inwardly. If you guys have seen any videos with Mum, and Mum was made aware of Tattle, she does not take to it kindly. And she does not understand it. She doesn't see the need of it. She doesn't see why people don't just get on with their lives. But trying to, not educate her, but trying to advise her from that generation, it's not how it was when she was growing up. Like, there wasn't really the social media impact when she grew up. And people sometimes just hide behind screens nowadays. And like this lady says, it seems to be YouTubers, you have sometimes Instagrammers, I believe. I think it's anyone who has followings, which, guys, I don't have a bloody big following. I am a minuscule fish in this huge ocean of YouTube. How do these, like, I don't even know how these people have come across me. And if you come across someone that you don't like, you just click off. If I watch a video or I see someone new pop up and I'm like, oh, okay, Primark haul, click on it. If I don't vibe with that person, I just click off. I don't write a shitty comment. I don't then go and find them on another thing to tell them how crap they are. I just move on. So it may be hard because that's my mentality, and I think why does everyone not have the same mentality? But unfortunately, that's not the way it is. We don't all have the same mentality. So yeah, as I say, that was the case with the Irish couple that was in the news, my lovelies. Another one, absolutely vile. They should be banned. How people are so despicable to others, I will never know. I think it's jealousy that drives them. I saw an article 2 weeks ago saying that the Tattle account is from a man in the UK that is making a lot of money from it. How can this be allowed to carry on with it being such cruel and a load of rubbish? People feeding off each other. Sorry, but you are pond scum if you write on these platforms. Sums it up, doesn't it? Yeah, it was the man in the UK, and I don't know how it works for him to make money off of it. I don't know if you're on Tattle whether you have to pay like a premium or a subscription. Maybe that's how he makes his money. Do they have adverts? Because it's like a blog, isn't it? You wouldn't have, it's not like video content. Maybe like the revenue of clicks to go on the site, but now obviously if he's banned or stopped outside people going on, he's not going to gain that much revenue. I don't know how the revenue's actually made on that, but yeah, that's what it is. It's like playground people feeding off each other. So one will say something, someone jumps on the bandwagon, then someone else, and then you have like a little army and they're like best of friends, and you just think, imagine, how did you meet? Oh, I met on Tattle. Like, it's not really. And I think with this case from the Irish couple, it definitely has brought Tattle a lot more well known. People in my work who are not, say, of the age to know Tattle are like, what's this Tattle site that's been going around? And I'm like, it's making it more known, which could be doing the geezer a favour if he wants more publicity, but bad publicity. I know they say that there's never such a thing as bad publicity, but yeah, I don't know how I see it carrying on. I can't lie, my lovely. Right. Big hugs. I had to really think about doing this one. When we first heard and saw what was being said on Tattle way back in January, you read the thread and I was so angry at what was being said. Obviously, none of it was true. And yes, I do know none is true, as I've watched every single video and vlog. Thank you. Some of it was just funny. However, towards Shannon, it was nasty. I think towards myself, my main thing that was being targeted was my appearance, my weight, and my attitudes. I don't think I have an attitude. What you see is what you get, and if you don't like it, you can move on. I'm not forcing you to sit here and watch me. And I think some of the last screenshots that I got before all of this caved off, one of my lovely sent one, and someone said, right, that's it. I'm not watching her anymore. I'm done. And then they was like, and then look below. And it was, I think it was something to do with my birthday. I don't know if it was my birthday vlog or what I got for my birthday. And the person who said, that's it, I'm done, I'm not watching her anymore, then commented about the next video. So I'm like, sometimes it's like, do they feed off of it? Like, you can't stop it? Is it like a guilty pleasure? Am I a guilty pleasure? Who knows? Read about what is going on, and from what I've read, it will still be going on for a while. However, hopefully he will pay for what he has started. Sites looking into private businesses and putting it out there for others to see is so wrong. Defamation of character alongside personal information is against the law. TikTok can be just as bad. Recently, I saw 2 TikTok videos on YouTube, and oh my god, the nastiness I saw was unbelievable. So glad that I don't do it. And the fact was, one young girl who, from what I heard, has got so much flack, she stopped doing it. I saw this. This was a body positivity young girl. She was only about 17 or 18, and she represented the plus size community. And she was honestly one of the most funniest characters. I can't remember her last name. Becky. Becky was her first name. And she got so much abuse upon video, and she carried on. She carried on doing her content, and honestly, I watch a Scottish, guys, I'm rubbish with accents. I feel like it's Scottish or Irish. A lady called Courtney, and again, she represents the plus size community, and she's just in the process of having a gastric band, and she's on a weight loss journey, but she's hilarious. The spoofs she does, the mimes she does, like honestly, I sit there and I can just scroll through, end on end. She gets hate as well, but she's a lot more older. I think she's late 20s, early 30s. And she says very bluntly in her videos, 2 words, one beginning with F, and one beginning with O, and they end with K and F. She's very blasé. But this young girl, she was only about 17 or 18, and she stopped. And there was a big, almost petition on TikTok to get this girl back, so everyone was following and everything like that, and I think they actually got her to over 1 million subscribers, and she hasn't come back. And I just think this is what people don't understand. Through them just venting and having their 5 minutes and thinking that they're back in the playground, you don't know the effect that that has on someone. And if anything happened to that young girl, those people would be held accountable. In their head though, their hands would be clean, they haven't done anything. But I think in this day and age, with everything going on, it is a very stressful world, and people sitting behind keyboards and spouting their mouth off, if that was to then have a repercussion effect and someone caused themselves harm or anything like that, they should be held accountable. And I don't know what's happened to the young girl. I don't think she's joined any of her social medias. I don't think she's back active on Instagram. And it's such a shame, because she was kind of like such a pick-me-up. When you watched it, it was like, that was what I needed. Like, she'd give you your pep talks. She again would do the memes and the funny little spoofy videos. But it just goes to show the words that people can say and the effect that it can do. Like, this girl just stopped her whole platform. And why should she stop? Because of people like that. It's not fair at all. If you have tattle, get rid of it. As the sun said, what you don't see or hear can't hurt you. One thing I did have a right laugh at was the free Rosina bit put on Shannon's channel by a fool. Yes, sites need more checks, and when completes are made, need to do something and not just ignore. Last words is the karma is coming their way. Love you loads. So they did, unfortunately, on this site also go after my regular subscribers, and they went after one of my lovelies, and they thought that I was like holding her captive. And because this lady sends me and mum gifts and like we speak, so I don't think people realise sometimes. Yes, at the moment I'm rubbish on replies. Email is probably the best way to get to me. But this lady I have been speaking to pretty much since day dot of my channel. We have exchanged numbers, we voice note, we text, we email, we send like life updates. It baffles me that people thought that I'd like captured this lady, that this lady was on her own, was vulnerable, and I was poaching off of this lady. And I just think how warped and how people have such a vivid imagination, because honestly, this lady is happily married. I know of her children, her grandchildren. We converse, we chat, we send photos, as I say. It's almost like I'm a scam artist. And I just sit there and I think, how does this make logic in people's heads? But yeah, they thought I'd held one of my hostages. Basically, they thought I held one of my subscribers hostage and was forcing them to send me gifts and all that. Honestly, guys, I am so happy if I even receive a letter, a card. The fact that I get gifts, honestly, baffles me. You will see in any vlogs when I've opened gifts, mine and mum's pure appreciation and gratitude, whether that be Rosina or we have many others that send gifts in. Honestly, everything is appreciated. Everything is greatly. It baffles me and it baffles mum. And these are genuine friends that we speak, we catch up, we see how life is. They drop me an email. I don't think people understand that. So a lot of my communication with subscribers is actually off of the channel. So as I say, yes, I'm crap for replying to replies at the moment, but emails is normally best to get me, or Instagram DMs. So if anyone ever wants to chat, I'm over there, my lovelies. Hi Shannon sweetheart, Dan the man, and the wonderful Mummy G. Just to say, sorry, I don't know anything about the sites, but I do think nasty trolls should be investigated and charged. As you know, I had a stalker, a female who was an addict and an alcoholic, and because of her I had to move home. She traced my mobile number twice somehow until I eventually changed the network. I just pray she never finds me. Take care, lots of love. Lots of love too. And you know what, that is the thing, because with trolls, you never know, you could bump into them in the street. They could literally be walking past you in the shops, in the street, and you would have no clue. And I think sometimes that's the thing, like, where is the line? Where is, like, having an opinion and being like, you know what, don't really like that bird. Not a problem. To then when you start becoming very vile and condescending and judgmental, and it's just kind of like, who gives people the right to be able to act and behave that way? Like, I don't know, I don't understand it. Is that me being fickle or naive? But I don't understand how people think that's an acceptable way of living. And I think as well, like, if these women have partners or children, are they aware of it? Are they in cahoots with it? Do they condone it? Because I tell you now, if I was laying in bed on a site like that, Dan would be looking at me like, what on earth are you doing? Get a life, get a grip, and get off that and get a kid. Like, I don't know what it is. Could it be through boredom? Could it be through loneliness? See, you never know the state that these people could be in to do that. They might not have had the best start in life and they just want to lash out. Okay, it's fine, but it's not. But there's ways of maybe channeling that. So, I don't know. It is a very toxic environment. People need to be safe, as there are far too many haters out there who put nasty things on the internet. I watch others on YouTube and they get the same thing, and there's absolutely no need for it. That's what I mean. I just think I would like someone to explain to me, like, what the point of Tattle is. Like, what do you get out of it? Is it a way to communicate with people? Is it a way to just, I don't know, bash people? Or do you actually use it for how Tattle was originally used for? Oh, got a cramp in my leg. For the recommendations and the tips and tricks. So I don't know, because I know my friend who's on there, she would never be a part of that side of Tattle. But she sent me things for like recommendations and bits and bobs, and I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe there might be a good side to Tattle, but at the moment, it's not really been seen like that. And then the last one, my lovelies, this is a long one, so get ready. Hi, hun. Hope you're doing well. I have seen a lot of hate channels on YouTube, and some are shocking as to what they say, but some are right. However, in the child exploitation people using children to gain money, I don't agree with. Now, I believe there was a case, was it earlier this year? I want to say Ruby Frank? It was an American family, and it was a family channel of which there was the lady and her partner, and I think she had quite a few children. And from what I have seen, I've never followed the channel, I don't really know their content, but from what I saw in the papers, people was noticing who watched the channel, like the children might have been a bit nervous or a bit hesitant or a bit jittery. And then somehow these archives were found, or footage was found, of not nice things being done to the children, and like maybe not the nicest of things being said to the children. So I believe that now has gone to a court case, and I believe the people have been imprisoned. Like, America don't seem to fanny around with this, basically. And the children were like being used to almost portray like this happy normal family, la-di-la-di-la. And behind closed doors, it was a very, very different story, of which, as I say, I do believe that the person is in prison now, or how do they say, incarceration. Talking of abuse online, I run my own group, as you know, and last week I had a person who pops up every now and again through the 10 years I have been doing it. Basically, she is nothing but trouble. She causes a lot of problems, spreads lies about me, and gets other people to join her with sending me lots of messages, calls, and life threats. Kept at it for days and nights. I had to report both to the Facebook because it was getting out of control with them. I never gave them what they wanted. If anything, I played along with the name calling and stuff. I agreed with them, but in the end, she did say she was sorry for bullying me and getting others to join in. She said it was fun, and I said, well, if you think bullying is fun, you're wrong, and it's people like you who make others harm themselves. I hope you're both proud of being bullies, and then blocked them. Right, first off, hold on a minute, because this is the most loveliest lady. You by no shape, means or forms, I think I've got that around the wrong way, deserve any of that. I know that you are such a giving person, and the things you do for your communities and friends, people like that, they're the ones that you can just toodle pip, ta-da, don't come to me for help, you made your bed, lie in it, ta-da. Don't be popping back up here and then expect an apology is going to fix everything. Disgusting. My advice is, whoever is bullying you, tell someone. Don't keep it a secret. You need to tell someone ASAP before it gets out of control. Block the name, report the platform, and don't back down. Don't let anyone bully you. I know it's hard to say, but if you block them as soon as it starts, if anyone starts sending screenshots of what's being said, ignore it and ask the person to stop sending them. If they don't, block them, unfriend them, or come away from the social media. So, as I say, when I found out about my Tattle thread, I had a little look on the first bit, and I was just kind of like, it's nonsense. Like, the things that was being said on there, I was like, nah, it's not worth my time or energy. But I did have a few of my regulars send me what they would be deeming like the Tattle tweet of the day. And I can't lie, some of them did give me a chuckle. Some of them included my family members, which of course is going to get anyone's back up. My mum, my partner, and there was ones that included Dan, and I showed Dan, and whew, he would love to meet these people to see if they would actually say some of this stuff to his face. But the one, I think, what was it he got annoyed at? It must have been on the thread when the lady sent me from, I'm not watching her, so it must have been like around what I got for my birthday. And they said that Dan hadn't booked Rome, that I had booked it and then acted surprised, or I'd coerced Dan into booking it. Darling, I can't coerce Dan into anything. He is a strong, independent man who has his own mind, And when it comes to gifts, we are very secretive with each other in terms of gifts because we like to surprise each other. And that was something. He kept cards very close to his chest last minute and booked it. Now, if you don't think a man can book a surprise getaway for a partner, for me, I feel you've never experienced that. And it's not uncommon. A lot of people I know, their partners would just be like, jump in the car, we're going away. So he got annoyed at that because he was like, I did bloody organise all of that myself. I'm like, darling, you don't have to justify yourself to someone. Because things like that was a very big thing to book on your own, last minute, and he done an amazing job. And I just feel like when I saw that comment and I told him, he was like, well, who else booked it? And I was like, well, according to this, I coerced you or I booked it and acted surprised. Guys, my face says it all. You can tell by my face if I'm lying. When I opened that present with Rome on my birthday, I was crying. I had no freaking idea. And after I stopped filming, I sobbed for about 10 minutes because I could not believe I was in Italy. Even in the vlogs, I was like, I can't believe I'm here. I actually can't believe I'm here. And this year is full of surprises. Very, very lucky with travel. I've never once shown off or gloated with my travels. I always say I know I'm freaking lucky, but I work bloody hard for my travels. So if we have a few more holidays one year or we do some random experiences from Virgin Experience Days, it's my life. It may not be everyone's cup of tea, but you know what? If it was, we'd all be boring. We'd all have the same thing. Some people might like to go fishing. Some people might like to go dancing. Some people might like to go clay pigeon shooting, and some might like to go and jump on a plane and get away. Whatever you want to do it. But I don't think the negativity and like the condescending attitudes from people, if it ain't your cup of tea, just move on. Just move on. My lovely says, where was we? Get them blocked away from social media. Need to remember, don't let them win. Any further reports or threats, go straight to the police as soon as possible. If the police check or make sure the idiots are like bullies, but in real life they wouldn't say it to your face. Many platforms have keyboard warriors who hide behind their phones and screens and don't give them what they want by making you ill or scared. Block them. But if you're like me, playing the same game, agree with everything they say. All the hate, everything, play along, and they get fed up with it like she did with me. Because she knew I would keep playing, but not as she thought it would happen if you're not biting back. It depends how much you can take when their messages come. You have to read them to agree with them. Then when you don't want to play your game anymore, you just block them. So for me, you're very lenient to be playing into that. I'm just like, I have not got the time of day. So if these things that are being said on Tattle was emailed to me, absolutely fine. I would be like, hi, thank you for your comment. I would address that comment as to where I think I stand on it. And then I would be like, clearly if my content offends you, please don't watch. Or if you want to give me your YouTube ID, I can save you the hassle and block the channel from you viewing. Simple as. But I think sometimes people just thrive off a bit of drama, don't they? And I just think, you do you, but I can't be bothered with it. And do I think Tattle's going to come down? No. I think it would have maybe more restrictions in place, but you never know. This couple are the first ones to actually make a stance and be like, no, this isn't right. Who knows what else could happen? That was in Ireland. Is anything going to happen in the UK, Scotland, abroad? No one knows. But I've really enjoyed this little one. You guys sent me some lengthy comments in there. But my lovelies, if you did enjoy this video, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe down below. And if you had to describe these hate sites and Tattle, what do you think is going to happen to Tattle? Let me know down below. But yes, take care, stay safe as always, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.